Hello everyone, I'm Deepika and this YouTube video is about my project CMPE281 and CMPE202. So in this video we would be looking into my Heroku deployed application which is okay. So this is my Heroku deployed application. This is my server-side application which I have deployed on the Heroku, and this is my graders login page. So in this project, what is required is I have 4 tenants, 2 for extra credit and 2 for requirement, basic requirement. So all these 4 tenants have their different instances running on the AWS, and they are configured as I showed in the earlier video. So every tenant is configured to take the input as Java source code and give output as the UML class diagram or sequence diagram. So let's look into how it basically works. I log in as grader and just enter. Okay, so this is my landing page. This is my welcome page. Here you see for class diagram and the sequence diagram. I have 4 tenants for class diagram and I have 2 tenants for the sequence diagram. So initially let's look into class diagram for tenant 1. Tenant 1 is Deepika, tenant 2 is Swati, tenant 3 is Robin, tenant 4 is Sunil. For this I choose test case 4 as my input. Okay, and I just hit submit. So when I hit submit, my request will go to the application load balancer, and application load balancer in turn will decide to which tenant it has to route the request so that I get the response from that particular tenant. This is a path based routing. So in this case the path would be like the path I have configured is tenant1 slash class slash uml slash class because it's a class diagram. This is my class diagram for tenant 1, and here I have the provisioning. The grader can provisioning for the grader to give the grade for tenant. This is different in case of every different tenant. We'll see it later on. Suppose I grade this as B and I hit submit. So this will be successfully saved. This will be saved into my RDS instance, into my RDS database, and we'll be looking into the database part sometime pretty soon after this. Okay, so this was about tenant 1 class diagram. So about tenant 1 sequence diagram. Okay, let me choose sequence.zip as my test folder. Okay, I have already chosen tenant 1 and this I hit submit. So in this case, now I get the sequence diagram as my response from the tenant 1. In this case, the path that hit the application load balancer was tenant1 slash uml slash sequence. Now it gets the sequence diagram, and this is the sequence diagram. It looks pretty cool. I just give grade A and I hit submit. The grade was saved successfully. Similarly, we can see for tenant 2, I'll choose file and I'll again give the same test case, that is the test case 4, and I'll hit submit. Yeah, so similarly this will also be routed to the application load balancer, and the application load balancer in turn will route it to the specific tenant. This is my class diagram for tenant 2, and there I grade tenant 2 number 9 and I hit submit. There you go. Now I choose tenant 3. Tenant 3 is Robin. I choose the same test case, that is test case 4, and I say submit. You'll see the variance of every diagram by every different tenant. This is the proof that they are coming from all different, the inputs are coming from different tenants. Okay, so this is the class diagram for tenant 3. Here I grade tenant 3. It says enter comment. I say nice job. Okay, and I hit submit. Now it's the turn of tenant 4. I choose tenant 4. Tenant 4 is Sunil. Now I choose the same test case and I say submit. This time the response will be from the tenant 4 instance because the application load balancer, depending on the path, has routed the request to tenant number 4. Now let's see. Yeah, that goes. This is my class diagram for tenant 4. I'll say good. and I just hit enter. Okay, so this is how this class diagram works. We can also see the sequence diagram for tenant 2. We have already seen the sequence diagram for tenant 1. There it is, sequence.zip, and I say submit. So in this case, it's going to get me the sequence diagram output from the tenant 2 instance. This will be served from tenant 2. There it goes. This is the sequence diagram which is generated by tenant 2. It says enter points. I say 8 out of 10 and I hit submit. So this was about yeah, this was about my application. Now we'll see how the grades, about grades. Okay, I also show you, this is one of my Ubuntu instance where I have configured my tenant code. So you can see it here. This is my tenant code for which handles the path, that is UML slash class for tenant 1, and if it receives this path, it enters into this code, and now this code, it unzips file, it runs my jar, and it generates the PNG. Similarly for the sequence diagram. Okay, now let's look at the how the grades are stored. Yeah, so this is my RDS. This is my RDS instance. My RDS instance has my RDS instance. I've already connected to my RDS instance, and I'll show you the tables. Let me show the database first. I'm using this grades database. I say use grades. Oh, I'm sorry. There's something else. Okay. So I say show tables. There it says all these tenants, and these are my two. Okay. So here I have done extension column. I have implemented multi-tenancy in database using extension column. I have these 4 tables, and the tenant table will store all the data related to all the tenants. Tenant table. Okay, so this is my tenant table which has the data of all the 4 tenants, and now I'll say tenant. Okay, so this table has the data of data about the fields. It's about the fields of every tenant. So table tenant 1 has 2 fields, grade and ID, 2 has ID and points, 3 has ID and comments, and so on and so forth. So similarly we can see like okay, so we'll see here that select star from tenant 1. It says all the grades I have entered up till now. Now select star for tenant 2. This shows the points for tenant 3, and so on. It says like excellent, very nice job, good, and etc. etc. Similarly, it will be for tenant 4. Okay, that's all about my AWS configuration and about my application which I have hosted on Heroku, and the tenants are on AWS. Okay, thanks a lot.